Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is RPG A Day 2021. It is day 14, so I finally caught up, and day 14's prompt is the word safety. So I had several choices. There was safety was the main prompt. There was also limits, fun, and momentum. And I'm going to focus probably a little bit on all of them, but safety being the primary. Now, I know that when this word is bandied about throughout the RPG, the tabletop RPG hobby, it's bandied about as there are supposed to be various safety tools that are employed at everyone's tables. And I say that they those people that really push these things do want it imposed, that it is, or mandated that there are some form of safety tools at everyone's tables, whether that's at a convention or in a gaming store. They will, some individuals will actually complain if some form of safety tool is not employed. Now, I strongly disagree with that as far as, no one should be able to say, you're not running your table the way that they would, and so you should be disallowed from running your table. That I think is not a, is not a very way to fit in to into the hobby that we're playing in, that we're trying to participate in. If you object with the way someone is running at their table, then don't sit at their table. Don't play with them. So one of the safety tools that everyone should employ is to actually go out there and to look at the various tables and get a sense of whether or not you will feel safe playing at that table. And if you don't feel that you're going to, not be safe playing at that table for whatever reason, then don't play there. If you're a GM or, a dungeon master, as I typically do whenever I'm doing either a virtual tabletop or in the past when I have gone to in-person either gaming store, game store or convention, is I would follow the one safety tool of being upfront with the prospective players. I would put a little placard on my table, and on that placard it will say the game system that I'm going to run, the theme that it's running on, any homebrew rules that the player should be made aware of, the general rating of the session. So and let's just say, for example, PG-13. So if I put that information there and the person approaches the table and reads that placard and then they decide that they can sit down, then that's consent for whatever happens, as long as it fits within the parameters of what was on the packet, of the placard. So they can't then just get up and go to management and bring them over and say, "Oh, well, he didn't do this or he did that or I wasn't made aware of." The placard's right there. That's the safety for the GM. That's kind of your that's your cover your butt kind of step to say, yes, I do use safety tools. I do a session 0, which pretty much amounts to this placard. So we don't have to spend any time going over these kinds of things, at the table. That is going to lead to, I believe, everyone at the table kind of having an understanding of what is going on there. And so that's the fun. as long as everyone is sitting at the table, they kind of have a reasonable expectation of how the game session is going to run, and the game session runs that way, then everyone, including the game master, should be having fun running that session. It also ties into momentum. The momentum of the game session is very important, especially if you have a time frame that you're trying to play in. And so if you're at a convention, you have a 3-hour block, all right? And people might have made their schedule for the entire afternoon with very few gaps in between, because I've done this myself, and there's not a lot of time in there to do a session 0 or like a full-fledged session 0. There might be just enough time to say, this is how the game is going to run, and you're kind of stuck in that time frame. So the momentum of your game session is really important. Limits. I can also tie limits into the safety prompt. As a game master running your own table, you're going to limit some of the choices that the players might have. Because you have a time constraint and you've prepared something for that session. So you have to limit the things that will impede the momentum, may result in not everyone at the table having fun. And so you have to be prepared to use those limitations in order to ensure the safety of your table. I know no one is in a life or death situation sitting at your gaming table. That's not what safety means, I think, here. What safety means here is the safety of the process of running a table. To me, that's the key objective for a game master, is to make sure that their session is going to run as best that it can in the way that they kind of planned for. And if you have players or an individual player that is really interfering with that, it's going to interfere with everyone's fun. It's going to break the momentum, and it's going to create an environment that just fails. And so that's how I use the word safety in this instance, because you're protecting the flow and the fun and the intentions of what you were hoping to accomplish during that game session. So that's my take on the word safety. I will be back tomorrow with the next video of supplement, and actually I have a few supplements that's how I'm going to use tomorrow's video for. So without belaboring the point any longer on safety, just going to wrap this one up. Thanks for joining. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave your questions or comments, positive or negative. But if you're leaving a negative, comment, please elaborate, and maybe we can have a discussion if we do have an honest disagreement of anything that I've said in this video. Now, this video is running a little bit longer. I kind of suspected that it would, for a word as potentially loaded as safety has come to be. So, which is unfortunate, because it really shouldn't be a loaded word. But that's just basically the nature of what has evolved over the last couple of years in the hobby of tabletop role playing. So once again, thanks for joining. If you hadn't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. I'm going to have some videos coming out, some new products that I've actually acquired along the way. And so I'm looking forward to break a little bit away from RPG a day and not have just this video coming out over the next couple of days. So once again, thanks for joining. Have a great rest of your weekend, and stay safe out there. And I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen. Take care.